Today, we are peeling back the layers on trading bots, and I want you to forget this idea of some mysterious, unknowable black box. We're going to demystify the entire thing by breaking down the core blueprint piece by piece, using some great insights from the Chaos Theory Institute. So, let's get into it.
You know, it really all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? When you strip away all the jargon and the complexity, this is what it's all about. And the answer, well, it's a lot more straightforward and honestly more understandable than you probably think.
So here's the big secret, the main thing to wrap your head around. A great trading bot isn't one single genius piece of code. Not at all. It's a system. It's a handful of distinct, manageable parts that all have to work together. And when you think about it that way, the whole idea of building one suddenly feels a lot less intimidating.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the high-level blueprint. Then we'll walk through each of the 4 key steps. After that, we'll put all the pieces back together so you can see how it works as a complete system.
First up, let's look at that blueprint. Just think of this as the master plan that we're about to take apart so we can see exactly how everything fits together.
And this right here, this is the golden rule from the source material. Don't let yourself get overwhelmed trying to build the whole thing at once. The real secret is to break it down. Isolate each component and just focus on building that one part. It is a much, much smarter way to work.
So, here they are, the 4 big pieces of the puzzle. First, getting the data in. Second, having an algorithm that decides when to buy. Third, actually executing the trade. And finally, having a strategy for when to sell. This simple 4-step process, it's the foundation for absolutely everything else.
Okay, let's dive into that first component, strategic data. This isn't just about hoovering up a bunch of numbers. It's about being really smart and focused right from the get-go. Because remember, a bot's decisions can only ever be as good as the data you feed it.
We call this process data ingestion. And the key word, the one to really focus on, is strategically. The goal is not to just collect every bit of financial data under the sun. It's about carefully choosing the specific information that's actually relevant to your trading idea. It's all about quality over quantity.
And you've basically got 2 ways to do this. On one hand, you can have automatic ingestion, where you're just hooking into real-time data streams. On the other hand, you can take a more manual approach, where you are carefully hand-picking the assets your bot is even allowed to look at. The choice you make here really sets the stage for your entire strategy.
Now we get to the really exciting part. Step 2, the buy algorithm. This is the brain of the whole operation. This is where you get to define the exact conditions that have to be met before your bot even thinks about placing a trade. This is your buy thesis.
To make this super clear, let's just invent a bot. We'll call it the Blue Sky Bot, and its logic is going to be dead simple. It has one and only one rule. It will buy the ABC asset if its price breaks past its all-time high of $100. That's it. Simple, right?
And here is such a powerful piece of advice. Before you even think about writing a line of code, just write out your logic in plain English. This is a game changer because it makes the whole process accessible to literally anyone, whether you know how to code or not.
And this shows you exactly what that looks like. Each of these is just a simple, measurable question with a yes or no answer. Our Blue Sky bot only cares about that first one, but you could easily build a more complex bot by just stacking these conditions. You could say, I'll only buy if, say, 3 out of these 5 conditions are true. See? You're just building with simple blocks.
So, we have our data, we have our rules. Now we're at step 3, checking and executing. At this point, the bot's job is basically just to sit there and wait patiently for that perfect moment to act.
So what's the bot actually doing? It's just in this constant loop. It scans the data, it checks the conditions, and it repeats. For our Blue Sky bot, it's just watching the price of ABC asset. Is it over $100? Nope, it's $80. Check again. Nope, it's $90. Check again. It just keeps on checking, over and over, waiting for that one condition to finally come back as true.
And once that condition finally is true, let's say the price hits $101. What happens next? Well, you've got options. You could set it up to just send you an alert, like an email or a text, so a human can make the final call. Or you can go fully automated and integrate with a brokerage API. And in the crypto world, you can even trade permissionlessly on decentralized exchanges. The level of automation is totally up to you.
Okay, so the bot bought in. You're in the trade. Now for what is maybe the most important and honestly the most overlooked part of the entire plan. Step 4, the exit strategy. You always need an escape plan.
A really solid exit strategy has two sides to it. First, you have your goal. That's your profit-taking algorithm. It's designed to lock in your gains when things go your way. And second, you have your safeguard. That's your stop-loss algorithm. Think of it as your safety net, designed to protect your money when a trade goes against you.
So let's go back to our Blue Sky bot. Let's say we bought in right at $100. Our profit-taking rule could be simple. If the price goes up 10%, we sell. That means as soon as the price hits $110, boom, the bot automatically triggers a sell order to lock in that profit.
And what about that safeguard, the stop loss? We could program that to trigger if the price drops 5% from our entry. So if the trade moves against us and the price falls to $95, the bot gets us out, minimizing our loss and protecting our capital for the next trade.
Okay, this brings us to our final section. Now that we've looked at all the individual parts, let's zoom back out and see this whole thing as a complete system, because that's where the real magic happens.
Because at the end of the day, a bot's success is almost never about one single brilliant algorithm. It's about fine-tuning each of these individual components. Better data leads to better decisions. A sharper buy algorithm improves your entry points. And a smarter sell strategy protects your wins and cuts your losses. They all have to work together in harmony.
And so here we are, right back where we started, looking at the same blueprint. Data ingestion, buy algorithm, execution, and sell strategy. By breaking it down this way, the massive idea of building a trading bot becomes a series of clear, logical, and totally manageable steps.
So, let's end with a question. Imagine you've done it. You built your perfect bot, it follows its rules perfectly with zero emotion. What's the one human bias that you, its creator, would still need to be on the lookout for in yourself? That's something really important to think about.